How gray steel becomes green steel. Georgsmarienhütte GmbH operates steelworks based in the town of the same name, Georgsmarienhütte, south of Osnabrück. The company, part of the GMH group, is the first steelworks in the world to receive an award as a climate protection company. The method of steel production has been tried and tested for a long time and has been improved again and again over the last centuries. But now, the steel industry is facing radical changes. By 2050 at the latest, according to the EU's planning, the economy is to become climate neutral. The steel industry is particularly affected by this regulation because it emits a lot, around 2.9 gigatons of carbon dioxide emissions during 2017, according to IRENA. Most of the carbon dioxide is produced in a chemical process that takes place in the blast furnace. To turn iron ore into iron, the oxygen and other impurities are stripped away. One way to avoid carbon dioxide emissions is to use scrap steel as a raw material instead of iron ore, and to process it in the so-called electric steel route. This is exactly what the GMH Group does.
The GMH Group represents more than 20 companies. We are specializing in steel production and processing, as well as steering, forging and casting technologies. At first, I want to say that electrical steel accounts 30% of crude steel produced in Germany, but only 3% of the emissions from the total iron and steel industry. Therefore, scrap-based electrical steelmaking, which we employ, is the best sustainable technology for the production of green steel. This is why our GHG emissions are much lower than the industry average. The key lever for the future is the reliable availability of green electricity. Or simply said, the greener the electricity, the greener electrical steelmaking becomes. The critical lever is the energy supply. Our goal is to use exclusively green electricity in our production in the future. This will enable us to reduce our emission by roughly 2/3 what I said before, and this we want to attach in 2030 at last, or 2035.
Hydrogen can actually do the same job as the blast furnace. When a hydrogen molecule takes up oxygen from the iron ore, it turns into water vapor. But a lot of electricity is also needed to produce hydrogen.
Hydrogen is a main topic for us to replace at medium term the natural gas which we use. After electricity, the biggest CO2 producer in our processes, in our rolling mills, furnaces and reheating furnace of our forgers.
According to the company, every kilo of crude steel from the GMH Group's electric furnace causes 1.3 kilos less carbon dioxide emissions than comparable steel from integrated smelters. The GMH Group uses 100% scrap as a raw material and also reduces emissions thanks to climate-friendly logistics. Sustainability management is a staff unit directly attached to the CEO and works to make every employee aware of the issue.
Sustainability is not only a technical challenge today, but also must be a mindset of the top management to the shop floor worker. Shortly said, it must be a part of the DNA of each employee in the group. And in the GMH Group, it is.